Hello and welcome, Croeso. My name is Gareth, and this is episode 14 of the Adventures of Hiraeth in LOTRO, Lord of the Rings Online. And when last we left off, we were about to continue with the dwarf side of the epic
Hear me out, traveler!
of the prologue here, and this was we're going to talk to Dwalin. Dwalin's bad day.
Dwalin is not going to be happy, Hiraeth. There are troubles with dour hands elsewhere in the Blue Mountains, but we thought they were out of Thorin's Hall forever. And to steal Longbeard gold from the treasury? Unbelievable. You had better head north into Thorin's Hall and show Dwalin the dour hand sword hilt you've recovered from the Silver Deep. You will find him in the throne room on the north end of the hall, at the north end of the hall. Burglars and dour hands be bothered. What did I do to deserve this, I ask you?
So we shall go and shall get our little horse, and if you remember, we got the that bundle I mentioned that's in the store. As I'm recording this, I believe it's still available, and of course they're debatable whether it's how much of a cheating mechanism the entire LOTRO store is, and I'm sorry, we have horrendous lag here. But I do think that they've done, for the most part, Turbine first and then Standing Stone Games now have done a very good job in making most things available convenience items. Yes, of course, you can earn the riding trait in-game by going to Bree and doing the riding course and that stuff. But if you've done it once or you've done it 5 times or however many times it is, it does get a little bit repetitive. So this, and again, this is not account-wide. It's purely for the for this particular character. So here we are in Thorin's Hall, riding up here, and there we see. I suppose we should be respectful and get off our horse at this point. And let's go talk to Lord Dwalin.
Well met.
So,
Coming from anyone else, Hiraeth, I would not believe these grim tidings, but you seem to be an honorable elf. I too thought the dour hands were gone from Thorin's Hall for good, but it seems they still had designs in our gold. We will teach them a hard lesson, Hiraeth, and they will rue the day they sneaked back into Thorin's halls like the brigands they are. We will discover where they have taken the stolen gold, Hiraeth, and then we will deal with them. I swear this by Durin's beard.
Might you lend me an ear?
So we push on, and again this is level 8, so we're still on level. So, the wisdom of the thrushes. We need to find out where the dour hand burglars took the gold they stole from our treasury, Hiraeth, and I believe I know just how to do it. The thrushes of the Vale of Thrain have long served as the eyes of Durin's folk in the air. If the dour hands tried moving the stolen good from Thorin's Hall, as they must have, one of the thrushes would surely have seen them. Thus Grimstone is a friend of the thrushes, who has long been loyal to the Lonely Mountain, and he understands their language. Nuss was last appointed to duty at the outpost of Nogland in the south. To get to Nogland, speak with the stablemaster, Vili, at the west of Freyrin's court. Tell him you want a steed to take you to Nogland, and he'll take care of the rest. When you get to Nogland, look for Hrothgar. He'll be your point of contact for the time being. So once again, all roads lead to Nogland, it seems. And whilst we're here, we may as well open our Hobbit present for the day. And in fact, we have both available, the special VIP one as well as the daily. And again, we have some Matham, rare Matham, and a tome of extraordinary experience, which normally would be a very good thing. But as we have disabled... now this is a quest here, by the way, that we shall do much later on, because it involves going to many different zones which are far in excess of our level. I think it ends up in Enidwaith? I'm not sure if I remember rightly, but certainly it goes far and beyond where we can travel for a considerable length of time. But it's one of those wonderful little sort of side exploration quests that the game has you go on, and that's nothing wrong with that. So we'll come out here, and at this point I'm not even sure whether we will even bother opening the armor. We seem to be fairly well geared for our level, and maybe we'll hold on to that for when we finally do get some extra levels under our belt, and we can get higher stats. And here is, I suppose we should probably get off our horse if we're going to go onto another horse. This is another nice way that the game organically introduces you to some of the systems, like the riding system. So we'll do the prologue.
Greetings.
Well met, Hiraeth. If you need to travel at speed, you should come to visit me, or wherever the closest stable master happens to be. So Dwalin sent me to purchase passage to Nogland, did he? Well, it's a good thing he did, considering how far away Nogland is. Simply speak with me about renting a horse, and you'll be able to purchase safe passage at speed on one of my fine mounts. When you get there, be sure to look for Hrothgar, okay? So, as we have actually taken...
What do you need?
So we just do this, and we will come to... it's not on there. We have to pay a massive 80 copper. As we've done this before, as we've actually seen this route, I will see you when we get close to, or actually at, Noglond itself. And here we are. We have in fact arrived at Noglond. The stable master is here. It was actually a very pretty journey through the snowy night. We shall go in here, and of course we have quite a few quests that have driven us down to this location. And so we shall talk to Gisli and give him his cave clothes.
Well met, friend.
Not again. This is the third meal my father has sent me in as many days. When will he realize that I'm a grown dwarf and not a child to be coddled and fretted over? Ah, you're not to blame. Thank you for the food. Maybe someday my father will realize I'm not the thin-bearded dwarf of 60 he remembers.
That's lovely. And if you remember, the old dwarf was actually so concerned about his son, and expressing all those things that parents might very often do, and then you realize that this guy is actually well over 60. It's very nicely done. So 9 vitality or 7 might. I think we will go for the carrots. And of course you also have the roast, which is a nice little thing that restores if you have wounds or poison, etc. So that's nice. Food is one of those mechanics which I never really utilize, and I probably should. Let's go deal with...
What do you need?
the epic. So, the wisdom of the thrushes.
Welcome to Nogland, friend Loremaster. You might not know it, but this way station has a storied history nearly as rich as Thorin's Halls itself. I would be honored to tell you of... Oh, I see. You are here on business from Dwalin? You will never find a truer Longbeard than our steward, and Thorin's halls are maintained with the dignity that befits our glorious... yes, your pardon. What was it you were wanting, friend? Of course, Nos came through here just hours ago. When he left, he mentioned heading to the Thrushstones. Follow the road north, back to Thorin's Hall, and it will turn sharply to the west. Continue to follow the road until it bends to the north again. Continue west from there, and you'll find the Thrushstones. Okay. If I remember rightly, I used to get horrendously lost in that area, so hopefully I can edit the bits, that bit out, or those bits out. So we have a new shine. If you remember, this is part of the armor quest.
I am beset by misery.
Bruni's got someone else to do his errands for him again, eh? Oh, very well. Here's my other armor. You might want to check with Olafur too. His armor was torn up bad a few days back in a scuffle with some goblins.
And whilst we're here, we may as well pick
Woe
up
betide me.
the flow to Nogland.
Has the water flow been restored? I should say not. It's just a trickle, really, when it should be a torrent.
So, again, we have a choice. We have 5 fate or 5 might. We'll take that.
Will you stay and speak with me a moment?
And quenching a thirst.
The water has not been flowing down to Nogland for several days. I sent a message back to the halls, but I've not received a reply from the builders. I'm not about to send one of my boys to do builders' work, but I can't have them traipsing in the river every time we need water.
Would you look into it? The canal runs all the way down the mountains from Thorin's Halls and to Gondomon below. The problem must be upriver from here. The above ground part of the canal, the place that may be blocked, is south and west of here. Just take the road. Okay, so in directions. And my goodness, we have a lot of quests to pick up here.
Is a moment of your time too much to ask?
Cutting cords.
You there. I sent Vithil to cut a quarter cord of firewood for Nogland, but he hasn't come back. See if you can find him. Just follow the road to the west. There's a clearing out there. That way we gather our wood.
Okay, that seems straightforward enough. And, okay, says the second.
Greetings, traveler.
I've been waiting for Bruni to come down. Oh, we expected him the other day, but as usual he put us off again. I've got a dent in my armor 1.5 hands long. Poxy goblin would have cut me from shoulder to belly if not for that hunk of metal.
So, okay, so we have that. And he has a quest of his own. Okay, herding cats.
Come and stay a moment, friend.
So,
The lynx that roam the hills in the Vale of Thrain have become bold with hunger in recent months. There have even been reports of them attacking unwary travellers. I have the unwelcome task of dealing with these beasts, but there are too many for me to handle alone. Grimkel has ordered me to take care of the problem, but I could use your help. We must teach the beasts to fear the bite of metal again and keep to 4-legged game. Head to the north along the road back to Thorin's Hall. Look to the west side of the road.
over near the thrush stones, and you will find links in great numbers. Again, we're being directed. Hey now, that guy in the back doesn't have a quest for us. What is his purpose in life? And here we have a grocer. So, clear the roads.
Might you lend me an ear?
There was a time when our hunters kept the number of bears in check, but alas, the beasts have grown numerous in recent years. It's shameful, really, that we have let the wild overrun our paths. As long as dwarves dwell here, the ways should be kept safe. If you want to be of help, patrol north from Nogland to Hunter's Notch, and seek out any of the beasts you find, or clear out any of the beasts you find. With your help, we will make the road safe once more. And if I remember rightly, this is actually a decent upgrade. Yes, very, very nice. It's interesting. It's nice to see that the Hobbit gifts are not the most powerful things in the world. So there's a lot of quests to be done here. We shall head up this way to begin with, and of course, if you remember, we can't actually. There's our first lynx. Let's call our bear. Come on, baby Bjorn. Yes, the lag here is pretty significant. Not sure why that is necessarily so. I know my game was I was installing a new game. What's over here? And again, rotation is out of order. Okay, I believe, yes, this is the way the, let's try one of these, Hendraval. That was too far away. Now these, I believe, start a quest. Okay, so that's the Hendraval Slayer deed. I think this is actually where we go up to the ruins up here. So I think those are a little bit too high level for us. We could again easily get swamped there. If you remember, that was the problem with trying to clear out Dalring West a while ago. And we have some little foxes around here. And here's a campfire. And yes, here is the yes, Vifil.
What do you want?
Ah, well met. I was wondering when Grimkel would send someone. I was in the clearing cutting wood for Nogland when goblins fell on me from the shadows of the trees. I managed to kill 2 and wounded the last, enough to drive it off, but was wounded myself in the fight. The foul creature ran off to the south. Tell Grimkel what happened and to send help.
So we shall do that. But in the meantime, we shall go and try to discover the source of those thrushes there. As this is a bit of a hike, I will also get to the place off screen. I shall also, that way, it'll be a mystery for you guys. So we'll see you once we find Nos, and we shall continue from there. So here we are. We are at the area where we need to come off the road there. It's just back there. As you see, there's a little side thing there that you can't go there. There's a building, but there's no access to it. So we shall start clearing out some of these lynxes. We actually had run into 1 or 2 earlier on, but not too many things have happened since you were last with us. As the Americans would say, a dime a dozen. So. Okay. And there we are. There's Nos there in front of the largest of the stones. So we shall go and talk to him. Now there we go.
Greetings.
You hear about the Dow hands sneaking out of Thorin's Hall, aren't you? The Thrushes told me all about it, and I wrote it down to show Dwalin. Here, I'll give you my... Oh no, links, quick, help me fight them off. They're always hungry for Thrushes. So conveniently... hopefully this will also aid in our quest. Yes, indeed. So, I believe some more come, yes? And here I think this is the last wave. Okay.
What do you want?
We need to take this information back to Dwalin, and we also need to Alright, so we definitely did have enough of the lynxes to thin them out. So we shall head back to the road, and we will actually go back to the Noglund way station. So we shall see you there shortly. And here we are, just to the side of Noglund, and in fact we are going to try and complete the bear quest. Really want to get that nice new jacket. And if we come up to the side of the mountain here, whoops, we shall eventually reach an area where there are a lot of bears. And even Hendraval that we can play with. Alright, and here's our first bear. We'll have a little bear on bear action here. Thankfully there aren't too many of these to collect, so... Go. And as we finish off this particular quest, I think it might be a good time to mention that I'm planning on, I had mentioned before, doing the, perhaps looking at the legendary server Anor, or even Ithil. It's nice, the sun and the moon. And I think we will be, I'll be logging into that server the next day or so, and hopefully trying to create a new one of the characters, and it will be much more of a sort of traditional let's play where we in fact don't disable XP, and there's one of the nice things, interesting things about it is the experience disabler of a sort. They've dropped experience game down by something like 40%, which slows the game enough to for people to enjoy a lot more of the leveling aspect of things. And we're done with this quest, and that looks interesting. From the little I've tried to stay away from the server itself. From the little I've seen, there definitely seems to be working. A lot of people seem to be liking it. That's the nostalgia kicking in, which is, in this case, not a bad thing. And it's certainly worth a look, I think. So we shall just come down here. Oops, run into things because I'm not paying attention. And we shall just turn in a few of these quests. And then we shall call it a day.
What do you want?
So there we go. The roads are cleared. We'll take this nice little upgrade.
Will you stay and speak with me a moment?
We'll come back for that in the next episode.
I am at your service.
So we've herded the cats. This is again it's not quite, because we have the incomparable. We shall take this this one as it's the most expensive. And here we go here.
What is the meaning of this?
We'll get some rations.
Hear me out,
Again,
traveler.
we'll take his quest later on. And we shall come back and continue our epic quest as well at this point. So, all it remains for me to say is thank you for watching. Please leave a like if you did enjoy this. And hopefully I'll be able to get another episode of the regular series, up and running in a day or two. And also look out for the new legendary series as well. Until then, this has been Gareth, and this is Hiraeth, and we shall see you hopefully safe and sound in Middle-earth shortly. Take care.